Hello and welcome to How to Successfully Implement the Behind Happy Faces modules. This is a program brought to you by the Phi Gamma Delta Educational Foundation and generous donations from our brothers. We encourage you to use this program at no cost to you. If you are interested in the program but are not sure how to go about starting it for your chapter or colony, you have come to the right place. My name is Candy Rivera, Assistant Director of Education here at Phi Gamma Delta, and I serve as your main point of contact for all your mental health module questions. We began our partnership with Roz Zabo at the Human Power Project in the summer of 2016, where we participated in the Behind Happy Faces program as a staff. From there, we implemented both fall and spring pilot groups with chapters averaging in size, location, and demographics, and found that the conversation on mental health was much needed across all of our chapters and colonies. This module is meant to walk you through where to find materials, what setup you will need, and best practices that we found from our pilot groups to help make the implementation a bit easier for you. Behind Happy Faces is a 5-module program that chapter members are encouraged to go through. We don't expect all 5 to be completed in a day or even a month or semester, but on your own time that best fits the needs of the chapters. Of course, it makes the most sense to go chronologically so every member has the same baseline understanding, but it's okay to jump around if that is what you prefer. These topics are as follows. Module 1, Understanding Your Mental Health. 2, Your Mental Health. 3, Changing Ineffective Coping. 4, Talk to a Brother. And 5, Before the Breakdown. As you can see, they start broadly, focus on you personally, and then how to help a friend or brother in need. September is Suicide Prevention Awareness Month and coincides with our launch because this is an important topic that needs to be addressed at the chapter level. We are here as resources and want the collegiate experience to be positive, and if we allow ourselves to be open to the activities and conversations modules provide, we can begin the conversation on mental health and how it affects us and those around us. Finding the information on our website is easy. You can go to www.phigam.org/BHF or from the website, and this is why I'm sharing my screen right now. You go to Undergraduates, Education, Health and Safety Education, Mental Health, and then the Behind Happy Faces modules. So here you see an overall viewing of the program where you can find additional help and resources, statistics, how to get involved, and then each of the 5 lessons. So each of the lessons take just a little bit to load, but you'll see the facilitation guide, the Phi Gamma Delta branded PowerPoints, and a video from Ross Zabo himself explaining the program and that specific module in mind. There are also a couple of things that you need to know, and these are kind of the best practices part that we're going to go over. Step 1 is to identify your Behind Happy Faces peer facilitator or coordinator. Ideally, this is a chapter member who has a personal connection to the topic and wants to start the mental health conversation among brothers. It does not have to be a current chapter officer or chair, but someone who wants to oversee success of the program. So if you have a member that really is interested in this topic and wants to take lead on this, please encourage him to do so. If you have a mental health chair or a wellness chair within your chapter already, we encourage you to use that as well. We also have a sample wellness chair job aid. If that is something that you are interested in, please feel free to email me. Step 2 is to go to the website, the www.phigam.org/BHF, and print out the facilitation guide in advance. You know, the more prep work that you do, the more successful your module is going to be, because every single module is going to tell you how long everything is going to take, what materials you may need. I mean, the materials vary from note cards, pens, to flip chart paper and markers. It really just depends on what is needed at each of those. But just making sure you have that in advance. Read through it so you know what you're going to be saying and are comfortable with the content. Finalize a time for the chapter to host the event. This is step 3. So they are meant to be 15 to 20 minutes long, but what we have found is that they do tend to go longer, especially if brothers are really engaged and giving kind of giving to the module itself, so they're able to kind of speak. Maybe you're hearing from brothers that you don't normally hear from. Some chapters would prefer to do a large group and have everyone speak so everyone's voice is heard. Some would rather do it in smaller groups just for time. But really, you have a read on the chapter. You know what would be best for them. And so if it's a serious topic, we find that small groups work better. If it's a broader topic, you can go ahead and do that with the full group. But really, we're going to ask you to go with your gut on this one. But also tell them that they do tend to go long. And so to kind of best prepare for that, give them an out at the 20-minute mark or the half an hour mark, whatever it says on the facilitator guide, so that if they do have other places that they are scheduled to be at, they can do that. But if those that want to stay, they can stay longer and know that it could potentially go longer. Make sure that the chapter meeting calendar is clear. You know, it's a light agenda that day. That's probably not the best day to finish PIE or vote on possible new members. Just make sure that you have the time to actually dedicate to the modules. We also encourage you to invite your Purple Legionnaire or other graduate volunteers to attend as well. Now would be the time to tell you that our graduates also have their own advisor track. And so I'm going to go back and show you that. So from the main website, if you go to graduates and the graduate volunteers and advisors in the learning portal, LMS, and so in here, you have to access the learning portal, but in there is the advisor mental health workshops. And so those are 5 workshops that they can do on their own time. And we encourage all of the grad brothers to do that with you so that they kind of know what the background is for each of the modules. As a facilitator, if you have been chosen to be the facilitator for the chapter, we ask that you model the way and set the example by sharing first when there's opportunities for you to share. And then hopefully your brothers will also kind of catch on and do the same. Step 4 is to make sure all necessary facilitation guides are read beforehand, and you can prepare those supplies and visuals for the modules that you are doing. And then if you're feeling nervous and are not quite sure how to really go about and start, or you just want to run through the curriculum with someone else, please reach out to me. My email is crivera@phigam.org, so crivera@phigam.org, and I will be happy to prep you for that first module that you'll be doing. The slides can be text heavy, and I will say that the slides coincide with the facilitator guide pretty verbatim. So if you don't want to look like you're reading off the slides or reading off of your facilitator guide, just kind of put it in digestible chunks for you, put it on note cards, put it in whatever you feel would be easiest to prepare. Again, we say it makes the most sense to go chronologically. So start with module 1 all the way to 5, skip around if you feel like that's best for your chapter. It is also perfectly okay to continue to do this on a semesterly basis and run through, you know, module 1 every semester and then go from there. There's also a how-to implementation guide that we're going to put on the website, and that is made available right here. It's basically what I've already shared with you, but those 5 steps on how to successfully host, as well as some best practices that I've also mentioned as well. Anything to help you guys feel better prepared. Like I said, they're meant to be 15 to 20 minutes long. Sometimes they will go longer if the conversation is going great. That's a good thing to have. Encourage your graduate brothers to be present. Know your campus resources before you start. So if there is brochures that you can get from campus, from student health or student wellness center, whatever that looks like on your campus, don't be afraid to let them know, hey, we're starting this program and we would like you to know that it's going to be on this day and this time in case there is an influx of people just wanting to talk to someone or just popping in or just knowing what the protocol is for maybe referring a brother who is in need. And so just making sure that you know what those campus resources are for you and your campus. I think that's pretty much it. So if you have questions, feel free to reach out to me. I can be reached at 859-255-1848, and you can just ask to be transferred to Candy, and I will be happy to help you. Have a great day. Thanks. Bye.